Tonight with a new way people are getting what they want. Owning a home, still part of the American dream, but for many that dream seems out of reach. And we often report on the affordability housing crisis, not only in Charlotte, but really across the nation. And there's one generation that's almost given up hope: millennials.
They're ready to be out of an apartment, they're ready to invest, they're ready to, have a home, put down roots.
Well, take a look at this survey from Real Estate Witch, and it shows just how many millennials believe home ownership is now out of reach. A whopping 79% of millennials think it's impossible, that they'll never buy a home. That's up almost double since 2024, when only 48% thought home ownership was out of reach. Moving the numbers here, 74% of millennials say home ownership still though part of the American dream, and 62% consider themselves failures if they never owned a home. 87% say it's financial difficulties that are stopping them from getting one. And that has some trying a, non-traditional approach. Reporter Heather Graff explains the growing trend of co-buying, in which people are teaming up with a friend to close the deal.
We've all heard the saying, friends are the family you choose.
We went to Columbia in New York.
And that's certainly true for Samantha Simpson and Angel Wachuku.
That was 2016.
Who went from classmates to best friends, and in the years that followed, they became travel buddies, roommates, and even business partners with a shared YouTube page.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Hey y'all.
So when the pair began considering home ownership in their late 20s, they decided it just made sense to buy a house together as well.
Literally, there just wasn't anyone else I thought of that I could trust besides probably my parents.
And yeah, I think we're just like good friends and we trusted each other.
Samantha and Angel, seen here, getting the keys to a 4-bedroom row house they now co-own in Washington, D.C.
Split everything down the middle.
Split everything down the middle.
That's right.
Could either of you have afforded this home on your own?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
And that decision to co-own is not as rare as you might think. According to Bankrate, 1 in 10 millennial homeowners has purchased a home with a friend. Zillow is also tracking this, and in 2023 found 14% of home buyers did so with a friend, many of those citing affordability as their reason for co-buying.
Certainly, if you have 2 incomes, then you can save for a down payment easier.
Jessica Loutz is the National Association of Realtors Deputy Chief Economist and Vice President of Research, and she expects co-buying among friends and with people other than a spouse to become even more common moving forward.
When you consider that there are 3 offers right now for every home that's listed, you want to have a competitive offer out there. So perhaps as a dual income, that's putting down the bigger down payment than you would have been able to as a single buyer.
I imagine it also comes with some potential risks, though. What's the downside?
I would definitely say that any realtor that I've talked to about this may be getting an attorney involved so that you can make sure that if you're putting in 50-50 on that home, if you walked away from that relationship, who owns what?
For instance, what happens if one of the co-buyers gets married or has to move or even passes away? Exactly how will costs be split? Even who gets the bigger bedroom? Experts recommend co-buyers set ground rules up front and put everything in writing to prevent conflict later on.
We wanted to have equal everything. So there had to be 2 rooms that were the same size, 2 bathrooms, all those kind of things.
What makes Angel and Samantha's situation perhaps a bit unique is that they're both lawyers. So when it came to discussing legal implications of their joint purchase, they were fully prepared.
I think it made it a lot easier because there were just some things that we just understood.
But for other hopeful homeowners who perhaps don't have that expertise, this trend has also led to the creation of companies like NestMit, CoBuy, and Paradigm that aim to guide people through the co-buying process.
You know, when people think about co-ownership, it's a great idea, but it sounds scary and complicated.
Joe Hoppus is the CEO and co-founder of Paradigm based in Washington State, but says they've worked with co-buyers across the country, answering questions and helping clients draft written agreements or property prenups that they can then take to an attorney for final review.
It's maintenance, repairs, insurance claims, you name it, we've covered it.
Do you think that co-ownership is the future
I do. You can't fight pricing. It's too big, it's too complex. You can't fight interest rates. So to unite resources, it's the only way for most people to get in the market and get that, start building that equity and generational wealth.
Heather Graff reporting tonight. Coming up next here.